A few things. First, last week we had a provisional session of the elders, and I'd like to report the results. During the provisional session, we had an agenda to make a resolution on the origin and significance of Pyungkang Day. Currently, the members of Pyungkang Church, as well as the saints of the Word around the world, observe the significant anniversaries related to our founding pastor and the church as Pyungkang Day. And in light of the current crisis, Pyungkang Day plays a crucial role in unifying the saints. Pyungkang Day, during the times of Noryangjin Daesang Church, was observed 3 times a year. And in Oryudong, we are observing 2 more, including Victory Day. However, some saints observe these days without fully understanding the significance of each date. And also, not just the saints in Korea, but we also need to pass down the significance to the children of Pyungkang as well. So we felt the need to organize this, and through various processes and procedures involving the pastors of the branch churches as well, the official stance of the church has been established through the provisional session of the elders. The details we will prepare and distribute through materials on the next Pyungkang Day. And secondly, there was a resolution regarding the congregational meeting. The details will be announced during the announcements, but next week, on June 30th, a congregational meeting will be held to accept the newly ordained pastors, 5 of them, and also to accept the transferring elders. With the current conflict with the breakaway side, the congregational meeting is very important, and the congregant list has become the most sensitive issue. The breakaway side has not attended the church for almost a year. However, since we are going through legal procedures, we have not excluded them from the congregant list for now. However, for the people who have been disciplined for illegal activities in the church or for participating in protests against the church have been excluded from the list, and they are 437 individuals. In addition, there are saints who have not attended the church for over a year and have no record of offerings. So in the past session, we have listed up the congregant list, and we have found out that 366 individuals fall under this category, and they will be excluded from the congregant list for the upcoming congregational meeting. But these individuals, when they resume attendance and offerings, then they will be reinstated on the congregant list for the next congregational meeting. Since yesterday, the congregant list has been posted on the church website, so we asked all the saints to check. And next week, when the congregational meeting is held, there is a procedure where you have to verify your names. So we ask that you will do that and also participate in the congregational meeting. And the breakaway side, I believe, is sending around announcements saying that they are going to request a provisional injunction to prevent our congregational meeting again. But because we need to accept the newly ordained pastors and the transferring elders, I believe that the congregational meeting will take place well. Next, I'd like to share about the June 30th commemorative events. 1 year ago, last year, June 30th, what day was that? It was the day when we got the results for the provisional injunction to prohibit the breakaway side's congregational meeting. So requested to prohibit the breakaway side's congregational meeting that was supposed to take place on July 1st. But the court allowed that, and that result came out on June 30th. In short, Due to the court's decision on that day, which was a Friday, June 30th, it was difficult to carry out the Friday prayer meeting that day. And the breakaway side, they suddenly came here to Moriah and held a surprise Friday prayer meeting. And they occupied the Moriah Sanctuary and Jerusalem Sanctuary. If their occupation of the Moriah Sanctuary had continued, and if their congregational meeting was held, then the court likely would have ruled in their favor. Now, looking back, we can see that it was truly a crisis for the church. However, from midnight on June 30th, the hundreds of saints who were contacted, they gathered at the church, and we witnessed such an amazing sight. And as they were driving out, as they were fighting against the breakaway side in Moriah and Jerusalem Sanctuary, because they had locked themselves in and there was no way to go in. And as the saints were trying to enter the sanctuary, the breakaway side hindered that by using tear gas. That was a year ago, but we were able to recover the sanctuaries. And on the morning of July 1st, you may remember, but the security personnel hired by the breakaway side arrived in church. They were attempting to enter the church, saying they will oversee the congregational meeting. And at the time, about 200 saints, including the Hepzibah college students, they closed the main gate and they guarded in layers to prevent them from entering the church. And at the time, the police even pressured us to open the gates for them to enter. But if we did so, no matter how many of them there were, they would have carried out the congregational meeting. All by Father's work, we were victorious. And although the situation is not entirely over, we desired to commemorate the victory of that day and also to learn lessons from that. Some people have requested to commemorate those days. So although they are not like the feasts or anniversaries of the church, the saints need to understand the significance of that day, what happened on that day. In that respect, we ask that you will all participate with a united heart. Lastly, third, we have our Love Our Nation Korean War Commemorative Service during third service today. Originally, we scheduled them for the Wednesday service before June 25th, but due to the current situation of the church, the event has been moved to Lord's Day third service. And although it's a very busy time, yesterday through evangelist Kong Seok-jin, who is in charge of the event, I watched the contents of today's event, such as the video materials, and I was deeply impressed and moved. Wow, this is how much the quality of our church has improved. And just through this event, everyone is bound to become patriots. So I ask that today, this year, I would say the way for Pyungkang Saints to love the nation this year is by participating in the third service. This is not an event that repeats every year, but today we need to understand the significance of our country, and we have been reminded of that through the second service message. So if you don't have any special circumstances, we ask that you will join through the speeches and other events. We ask that you will once again share this heart of loving the nation. Thank you.